Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to check the new FPV monitor from HawkEye, the Little Pilot 3. The Little Pilot 3 features a built-in diversity receiver, and in this video I'm going to go over its features, and I'm also going to head outdoors and record some flight footage using the HawkEye mini DVR unit. Inside the package of the Little Pilot we get in the instructions manual, both in Chinese and also in English. In addition we get in some stickers, the FPV screen, a linear antenna and also an omnidirectional antenna, both with an RP-SMA antenna connector, a simple servo connector, this video adapter, and this bracket that is going to enable you to attach the Little Pilot 3 to your remote controller. On the center of the Little Pilot 3 we can find a pretty bright 5-inch screen with a resolution of 800 by 480. Since it has a built-in diversity receiver, we can find on the top two RP-SMA antenna connectors. In addition, we can find this mute button, and on the right side we can find an on and off button next to the plus and minus buttons that are going to help you to adjust the settings. In addition, we can find these 3 pins for the video out, DC plus 5 volts, the ground, and also these 2 pins for the video in and the ground. And charging the built-in battery is done using the micro USB connector, a micro USB cable, and also the wall plug is not supplied in the kit, so we'll have to use your own one, and of course any phone charger will do. The capacity of the built-in battery is not specified, but according to the user manual it should last you for about 2.5 to 3 hours of usage time. You can find on the back 2 speakers, a reset pinhole, and finally on the bottom a tripod mount thread. Turning on and turning off the Little Pilot screen is done by long pressing the power button. You're going to immediately see the HawkEye logo, and then it's going to take about 6 seconds for the FPV feed to appear. Accessing the menu is done by short pressing the power button, and then we can navigate through the options by just short pressing the power button. You can go up, you can just go down. And if you want to change a setting, you can either press the plus or the minus buttons. So for example, we can toggle between all the available frequencies. In total, we have 6 bands and 8 channels, so it supports 48 channels. So you can just toggle between all the available channels. In addition, you can set the format between auto, PAL, and NTSC. The OSD can be set either to on and to off. You can also change the gamma, brightness, contrast, saturation. You can also adjust the burst. The language can be set either to English or Chinese, and the brightness of the screen can be either set to low or to high. And finally, you can also perform a factory reset. It's not going to prompt you, so if you press plus, for example, it's going to be reset to the default settings. If the OSD option is going to be turned on, the OSD is going to appear on the top. On the top left, we can see the voltage of the battery, then the mute indication. So for example, if I'm going to press this button, now we can hear the noise, and you can also see this icon. Pressing the mute button is going to mute it, obviously. Over here we can see the timer, the RSSI for the left antenna and for the right antenna, and the antenna that is currently being used. 1 stands for the right antenna, and if 2 is going to appear, it's going to mark the left antenna. Switching to the AV in port is done by long pressing the minus button. So now you're going to see it's going to switch to the video in. Audio is not supported on the video in. You can see we have only 2 connectors for the video in and the ground. And if you want to go back to the FPV feed, you'll have to long press the minus button again. So now I'm going to connect the camera and show you how to perform a search. In order to perform the scan, you will have to long press the plus button. It's a little bit slow and it's going to take about 25 seconds. And also after you press the search button, you won't be able to stop it. Now, as you can see, it found the best signal on 5866 and the camera is set to 5860. It's close, but not close enough, so I'm going to manually set it to 5860. The quality of the image is pretty good, and also this screen is an anti-blue screen, so it's not going to turn blue or black in case the signal is going to be low, which is very important on an FPV screen. And in addition, according to the specifications, the latency should be very low and is rated to be 10 milliseconds. Connecting external AV source can be done using the provided cable. You just have to connect the ground to the ground and the red wire to the video in. So you just have to place the pins facing the top, and then you can just connect an external AV source. In addition, you can also use the mini DVR from HawkEye. This one has a built-in battery, so you don't have to use the plus 5 volts out. All you have to do is just use the provided cable. So for example, if you want to display the video from the mini DVR, you have to plug the 3.5mm AV jack to the AV out, and then you have to connect the yellow wire to the video in, the black, which is the ground, to the ground, Turn on the mini DVR by long pressing the power button. You can see that now it's on. And now after switching to the AV mode, we can see the screen of the HawkEye mini DVR. We can set the mode. You can see that now no SD card is present, but you can still see the video feed and you'll be able to play the videos from the HawkEye mini DVR. If you want to record a video, all you have to do is just to connect the 3.5mm jack to the AV in and then connect the video out to the video out, the ground to the ground, and then you'll be able to record the video from the little pilot tree. Recording audio unfortunately is not supported, and also one more thing that this FPV screen is lacking is the HDMI port, so unfortunately it's going to be a little bit hard to use the screen for FPV simulators. Now, as you can see, the dimensions of the little pilot tree are very similar to the dimensions of the FX508 screen from FXT. Of course, it's a little bit heavier because it has a built-in battery, and it weighs 223.3 grams, whereas the FX508 screen weighs 130.1 grams. But even though it's thicker and heavier, it's still going to fit inside the case of the Viper goggles. So if you want to use the screen, it's possible. Unfortunately, as far as I know, FXC does not sell the case separately, but if they will, you can see that you will be able just to simply place it like that, since the front dimensions are identical, and then you will have to just give it a little push. And you can see that now it's secured inside, and you'll be able to use the screen as FPV goggles. So again, if FXT are going to sell this case separately, you'll be able to use it with the little pilot tree. Now, as I mentioned before, charging the little pilot tree is done through the micro USB connector. Next to it, you can find an LED indicator. Once it's going to be turned off, it means that the charging procedure has finished. Mounting the little pilot to your remote controller is done through this bracket. All you have to do is just to remove this cover, then place this adapter inside, lock it, and then you'll just have to loosen these two screws, put it on your remote controller, and just use this clamp in order to mount the screen. Flying FPV with it is not ideal, but if you have bigger copters like F450 or hexacopters, I think this is going to be a very handy solution. I do think that it could have been better if they provide a sort of visor, and also I think that it's a little bit disappointing it doesn't have an HDMI port, and it could also be the perfect solution if it had a built-in DVR. Unfortunately it doesn't. So in order to record the videos, you will need to use an external DVR solution such as the mini DVR, or of course the Ishin DVR Pro. Since it has a plus 5 volt out, it's not going to be an issue to connect an Ishin DVR Pro, so you don't have to rely on a built-in battery that is included on the mini DVR, for example. The next thing I'm going to do is to head outdoors and test the little pilot tree with the mini DVR from HawkEye. I used the provided antennas because I want to show you how it looks using these antennas, and I used the best settings on the mini DVR. And after testing it out, I can tell you that this is a great FPV monitor. The FPV feed wasn't as good as my 3D receiver, obviously, because just the module cost as much as the FPV screen. But I can tell you that in my opinion, the mini DVR didn't perform that well, and I think it's going to be better for you if you purchase this screen to buy the Ishin Pro DVR, because I think the quality of the recording is going to be better. So I hope you will enjoy the rest of this video. As always, if you have any questions about these products, feel free to ask it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell if you're not already subscribed. See you on my next videos, and goodbye.